Yeah, good evening. I'm your host, Don Armando, and tonight's topic is quote unquote racism in these YouTube streets. I'll put the link down on the live chat, so therefore we could get everybody's view on the racist rhetoric of the YouTube streets. Okay. All right. I'm chilling, technical difficulties for the moment, but I'm good. How's everybody else doing? What up, Mungano? What up, Ramon? How's everybody doing tonight? All right. All right. Okay. Hmm. All right. You hear me now? Okay. All right. Do y'all hear me now? All right. All right. I mean, yeah, I see that live open on Radical's channel was a doozy because the woman did not know how to control her emotions. So I can't really call it. Next. I think it'll be like next week or so. I'm gonna make a topic maybe via Thanksgiving or so because I'm gonna be in New York City like on Wednesday. So I'm gonna try to link up with Don Jose if I can. Um, I wanna invite all the biracial allies that I have made over these months, and I want to know, I've been, about a little bit about their movements, what their views on life is, and everything like that. Because even though I just have a small stream, they have shown me love. I'm chilling. I'm sure, Marquise. How are you? How's everybody on your side up in Florida? Well, today's topic is I'm calling out all these racists in the YouTube streets. I don't care what community they're from. If they're African American, Hispanic, Asian, whatsoever. Let's call them out today and see or correct what they're doing because at the end of the day, they're just only making themselves look more ignorant than they are. So that's my topic for today. That's good. Shoot, the way that this cold is out here in Philadelphia, I wish I was up in Florida again. I really liked Orlando last year. And let's see, a little bit of Port Carnival, but it was just only just an 8 hour stop on my cruise. So, it was boring. And it was raining that day. So then the next day, the storm happened and the cruise that I was on escaped that. Thank God. Uh, that's good, Ramon. Ok, ahí, primo, ¿cómo está? Tú sabes, aquí hablando, pero tú sabes, tiene un coro de racista aquí en el YouTube. Tú sabes, haciendo maldad contra de cualquier comunidad, de un afroamericano o dominicano y todo. Ya tú sabes. Ok. Mm. Good
Lo que
evening.
hay.
Yo
Evening,
bien, ¿y
evening.
usted?
Estamos ahí en la de todos los días, ¿sabes cómo es?
Sí.
¿Cómo está la cosa?
Está bien. Pero tú sabes la cosa de radical. Es un locura hoy.
Ah, sí, sí, eso se volvió un algarete ahí. Sí, estaba viendo en ese, o sea, no podía llamar ni nada, pero sí, vi la que pasó. Eh, y no sé, esto, hay con quienes no se puede razonar. Hay con quienes no se puede
Sí.
razonar. Hay mucho lo que se puede hacer ahí.
Ujú.
Y uno sabe lo que
Sí.
uno da. Y entonces están estos que se dejan llevar por lo que dice el otro y no investigan ellos por sí mismos y no se educan ellos mismos. Y pues se creen lo que les dice el otro. Y eso es básicamente lo que pasa con lo que pasó con el tipo que estaba hablando radical. Eso era básicamente repitiendo lo que oyó del otro. O sea, no estaba hablando por sí mismo. So,
Sí.
nada que ver. Yeah.
Nada,
No sé.
tú sabes, yo haciendo ese stream, yo voy a tirar a mis hermanos en el cumpleaños de él en la próxima semana para hablar
Ajá.
con un poco y ya. Pero eso es de mi hermano, vive en Gulfport.
Ah, ok, sí, sí. Ah, está bueno, está bueno. Lo que sí vi una, vi una notificación del stream de Fire, que es ya mismo. No sé si tú vas a chequear eso.
Sí. Kelvin Castillo, ¿qué es lo que hay? Sí.
No, pero
La
no
cosa
mucho.
está hablando, pero tú sabes.
Ujú.
Sí, pero una cosa que yo hablo ahora es, ¿cuál es la cosa de los racistas en YouTube?
Ujú.
Y yo, pero un año que yo tengo ahí, pero yo tengo mi cuenta de YouTube por muchos años, pero no te usa mucho.
Yeah.
Pero ahora, tú sabes, yo a ver por este desgraciado, se llaman señor Batista, te
Ah,
hablan mal,
me
te
importa.
hablando mal por el,
Yeah.
sí, pero hablando mal de la memoria del difunto Johnny Ventura.
Ah, él no
Y
importa. Él no importa.
ahora,
Nada.
sí, sí, él no importa, pero tú sabes,
Ujú.
yo quiero saber cuál es el motivo de ellos,
Ujú.
son, son, tienen, tienen envidia para para la gente de mi color o qué. Pero tú sabes, estoy preguntando, pero imagínate.
Yeah. Sí, te entiendo, te entiendo. No, no, eso es cada loco con su tema. Ellos tienen, ellos están con ese problema, no es mucho. O sea, la cuestión es que si ellos no se dan cuenta de que ellos están mal, de que ellos están teniendo un problema, pues no es mucho lo que se puede hacer. No es mucho lo que no se les puede ayudar
Ujú.
ahí. Yeah. Tienen que admitir que están en la
Sí,
mala y así es como único se puede decir, ok, ¿de dónde es que viene eso? ¿De dónde es que viene ese problema? ¿De dónde es que viene la actitud? Yeah.
sí. Pero tú sabes, tiene mucho de ellos, falta de palabra de ellos, pero ellos son ignorantes. Son
Ujú,
ignorantes de yo, la ignorancia de ellos
ujú.
es, es un gran es un gran cosa. Por ejemplo, yo hago un stream de uno de los racistas, se dicen a, a Cristóbal Colón, es el rey de la República Dominicana.
Eso está tratando
Hmm.
de llenar. Tratando de llamar la atención. Ese no fue ningún
No,
rey.
pero tú,
Ujú.
exacto, pero tú sabes, hablando de la historia, tú
Yeah.
sabes de las Antillas,
Sí, sí.
y ellos, ellos quieren promuevan el estilo de racismo americano desde de las Antillas, de la República Dominicana o otros lugares de Latinoamérica. Y
Mm.
dicen, ¿cuál es la gran amenaza de los afroamericanos y los hispanos se unen? Esto, estoy preguntando por eso.
Yeah.
Yo, but you gotta admit, Ramon,
Mm-hmm.
is you have certain people who are just who are just tired. I mean, for a year, right? You've been hearing the same rhetoric about me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, hola, Don Jose. So I'm like, okay, since this has been like maybe a year or almost a year of them saying the same rhetoric, I just want to see something. Do they even have proof? All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like that we have a next all right. This evening we bring my friend Don Jose. The guy the
Good
the mayor
evening.
of the good evening. The mayor of the golden of the cold sphere.
Hey, Don Jose. Yeah, I did check out your live stream, but I couldn't hear you. You were breaking up bad, so I didn't stay there because of that. But I did show up. It's just that you were breaking up.
All right. Um to Marquise 912, right? First of all,
Yeah.
I could actually speak on this because even though I'm not from Washington Heights, but it's actually it's actually in Washington Heights, you actually have African Americans that live out there, believe it or not. And you have certain people who do that, but then the thing is though, when you actually talk about regular people and gangs,
Mhm.
it's a different sphere. I'm not going to say which gang it is because, you know, if you mention certain type of words, you might just get shut down or anything like that. But politics between the Latinos in the West Coast and the East Coast, and then the politics in the East Coast regarding Dominicans, it varies because in New York sometimes African Americans and Dominicans we have a good relationship to the point that men will be marrying African American women and vice versa. So when somebody that I guess don't know what it is and everything like that, you have some people who are racist because they don't know any better. They don't really go and explore and they just stick to their own group. But then you have some other people that actually go over the world. They have friends of different backgrounds, and they're more educated.
Yeah. Um, what you thought about I'm sorry, I don't mean to change the subject, but what you thought about Radical Stream today?
It was
Yeah.
very interesting because it was very interesting. I could actually say because you know you had a woman who was like I guess she's lived in all over, and she was talking about her Moroccan husband and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is though, when she came out there, she looked like she was emotional, like for no reason. So my thing is that when you're gonna have a debate or anything like that of that matter,
Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know what that was supposed to mean when she brought up that she had a Moroccan husband because that's an Arab country now. Morocco is an Arab country. I understand that it is located in North Africa, but that's an Arab country, just like Egypt. That's an Arab country now. So it's not like uh, It's not like actual African people, the ones that are running things over there. So what
I
was
mean,
her point?
but I mean,
Mhm.
my thing is what the point that she was trying to get at is that okay, from what we watching on you know on TV when it talks about Morocco, it talks about Tunisia, it talks about
Mhm.
Algeria, all the places that we would think that Berbers originated from, right? So
Mhm.
what we always think as okay, maybe light skin or northern African is not really the case because what a lot of people seem to forget is that you have certain people or of how should I say? I think it's called Tuareg or something like that. So I think she was trying to get that point, but I guess it was getting lost within translation because maybe she didn't want to articulate it right. But
Mhm.
if you actually look at some of the di- the their dynamics when it comes to
Mhm.
North Africa, there's a lot of people who are actually my skin color or maybe darker
Yeah.
because of I guess history and everything like that. And then when you're talking about the Berber language, there's actually like different types of Berber um tongues where and I actually seen this on YouTube where they're actually communicating their point like in their different style of Berber, which I guess which has had variations throughout the centuries or so.
Mhm.
So certain people could say like, okay, you be for Morocco, and somebody, oh, we believe
Mhm.
or they. So my thing is that all these have a preconceived notion of what a person's identity is, when the fact is half of these so-called races are ignorant and do not have a good sense of history.
No, well, that would be for them to actually take the time to do the research and the reading. But the thing is that when they're listening to their leader, because Tariq Nasheeds, it's Tariq and the Nasheeds, because they follow him. They follow him. If they follow somebody, then that person is their leader. I mean, they can keep denying it, but if they follow a person, then that person becomes their leader. That's just how it is.
All right.
That's
Yeah. The thing is, though, what I'm trying to say about Tariq Nasheed, right? Which I don't, get, right?
Mhm.
Is that okay? Where does Tariq Nasheed come from? Is he a Muslim?
Okay, he's from. No, 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 not at all, not at all. I mean, I'll tell you a couple of details because I have known about Tariq Nasheed longer than a lot of people, even though I'm Hispanic. A lot of people don't know that because I first learned about him back when I was still be watching television, and I saw him on MTV because he was on an episode of this show where they will get somebody to coach someone who needed a makeover or something like that. So Tariq was in this show on MTV where he was coaching this kid who was very nerdy looking, and he coached them into improving his looks and how to interact with girls and things like that. And that's how I knew about him. I mean, I have never seen him before that, and that was years ago. That was in the 2000s, and that's when I started looking him up,
Right.
and I learned about his books, and later on I learned that he may or may not have been a pimp at one time, and that's
All
why
right.
he was able to write about this relationship books and all. um, but later on, he started to get more into the more political stuff, and I respect it. I respected the guy. I did. But that started to change like a couple of years back when on a live stream that he was saying, he was talking about the elevated rates of HIV on Black American women, and he said that that was because of the Caribbeans. And that's when it started for me too. When I said, "Okay, fuck this dude," because I am Caribbean. I am from the from the Caribbean. So he's basically saying he made a generalization that the Caribbeans are the reason why there are elevated levels of HIV on Black American women, which is a lie. It's not because of us. It's not because of us. Because
I know the reason, but then if we say the real reason,
uh,
we will be deemed how should I say anti rainbow community. So my thing is this, right? If you actually look at some of the cities with high HIV rates, you have to look
mm,
at account where the education is, the sanitation, the people's way of living, and what influences. Meaning that okay, we could say that rap music is actually a very influential thing. It could actually influence a person to get to see a better life or live a worse life. So you
mm,
have to look at the infrastructure of the places that are actually having these high HIV rates, and then you have to look at the equality the financial inequality
mm.
within those communities as well. So it's like you could say like, oh yeah, this place is nice, but yet you don't really see like a lot of nice houses. So you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah. Um, Next week, I'm going to be conducting a stream, and it's going to be dealing how to fight the sheep mentality.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because unfortunately, you have people who blindly follow others.
Yeah, but that's because they don't do their own thinking. There are too many people like that, and the thing is that we're living in a country that is supposed to be about individualism. So it makes it a little difficult to understand how all of this sheep mentality can be going on when there is all this. Well, this is supposed to be the land of individuality. I mean, it's very contradictory.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
Yeah.
that's
is
true.
because it's like okay, like I had friends. I'm gonna say this. I had friends that you know I'm from the Bronx, right? So I've had friends that that you would think that they would actually lean to the left because of their lifestyles choices or whatever the case may be. But like around 2016 or something like that, when Trump was running and everything, all I see is that that some of my friends, I don't know if it's religious conversion or I just don't, or maybe a better way of living or something. The
Mhm.
next thing you know, I see like a lot of my friends actually started to support Trump.
Mhm.
And it's like and even till 2021, it was or 2020, I believe, it was like okay, it was to the point that you saw all the people, certain not all, but some of the people that Trump had talked bad about starting to
Mhm.
support Trump. So my thing is like okay, since all these people are supporting Trump or whatever the case may be, I want to know okay, so like what's the sudden change? Is it like ideology, better way of living, or you just trying to fit in within the crowd? So
No, but
that's why I want to
uh
know.
no, it's just like what we're saying. I mean, the sheep mentality that just going by what somebody else tells them, like the comment that you're highlighting right now. This guy starts saying, "I heard them Dominicans." I mean, this is another FBA. He ain't no ADOS talking about his ADOS. This is another FBA. I heard. He starts saying, "I heard," instead of "I read" or "I witnessed" or "I researched." So this, that, and the third. No, no, no. He's just repeating what he heard from someone else. That's part of the shit mentality. That's part of it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the reason why we're gonna have the discussion, and it's gonna be done Tuesday on my platform. So what
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss how we can overcome the sheep mentality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 It's like to the point. It's like to the point that the sheep mentality, right? It's like I don't see how certain of these YouTubers they just want to come up spewing ignorance for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said earlier, I mean that live stream was a bit of a doozy. But it tells you something.
I
It
mean,
tells you something. Those things are necessary for you to witness yourself, so you don't have to go by what you heard from someone else. So you are seeing it
yeah,
in real time. I mean,
Hmm.
that's not we can't reason anymore because we're talking about a demographic that we don't have any power over.
I
It's
know.
Good evening, Jojo.
Good
Good e-
evening, Giorgio.
Hey,
hey,
good evening, gentlemen.
what's going
Hey,
on, man?
Nothing much, just
chilling.
saying what everyone is going, to do moving forward, and how I guess we can actually conquer the ignorance of the world that stems from racism or the stuff that we're going to be addressing tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
So,
one thing that could help is by informing oneself as much as possible. So it makes it easier to debunk lies. Now, I wouldn't promote wasting time and energy trying to reason with somebody whose mind is already set on hating or having all of these and making all of these assumptions about the group that one is part of. Uh, if it's necessary, only if it's necessary. But if it's not necessary, then concentrate on people that you can actually that one can actually see eye to eye with. I mean, because this this guy, this FBA is uh, they're a bit of a problem. But as long as you can debunk their assumptions, because what happened with Radical Stream was the guy making a whole bunch of assumptions. He was never answering any questions directly. He was never really proving anything. He was just throwing accusations, making assumptions, everything that he may have heard from other FBAs or from the leader. That's basically what he was saying. I mean, it was kind of like saying even what the other guy that was on the stream saying that it is in our culture to be racist. I mean, that's not part of the culture. That might have been a remnant of colonialism. Yes, yes. Nobody's saying it's not. That's not a thing, but it's not part of the culture. I should have said was never taught such a thing. And I'm from an island, literally. But I was around my people all the time, and nobody was telling me that it was my cultural duty to be to be racist against somebody of an Afro descendant. So no, that's not part of the culture.
Yeah,
That might have part of the of something that has to do with colonialism. That's a different thing. Yes, and that was and yeah, it was a real thing, but it's not part of the
yeah. My
culture. Hmm.
yeah, my thing is that okay, like for example, like I'll say for example, you have certain people who they're stuck in their ways, even though it's old or anything like that. So in New York, you have people who still thinks or still act like okay. You have certain people who are like, oh, I can't stand certain people or something like that. I'm like, okay, cool, because of I guess cultural norms or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
I had a Puerto Rican American friend, right? And she said that she couldn't stand Dominican women, right?
Hmm.
Well, like years later, me and her stopped being friends. So that means maybe in the long ride, she couldn't stand being my friend either. But
Hmm.
to each his own.
Yeah, because long story short, she's talking about your sister, your cousin, your mother, and all that other stuff. So when people say is that, well, I'm cool with you, that stuff is just not going to fly because you're still like assaulting the person's immutable traits and an identity they can do nothing about. But it's an identity that you happen to also share with the other person. So therefore, it also
You-
comes down to also putting down you as well. Even But then
Yeah.
again, is that kind of going back to even what Internet Boricua was saying? Introverted Boricua was saying is that, hey, if speaking to somebody like that who's already set in their ways,
Hmm.
the way I see it is that if it's going to cost you your peace, then it's too expensive.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. My peace is always going to be more important than somebody's confusion. I mean,
Yeah,
somebody's ignorance, somebody's confusion. It's up to them to deal with that, no, not me. I mean, my piece is more valuable.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
mean,
Well,
I mean, if you
yeah.
actually look
Well,
at
well, I'm sorry.
oh my bad, Don Jose. I mean, if you actually look at
Yeah.
some of these racists,
Actually,
right?
Yeah, there is a bit of a delay with Don Jose. Don Jose, if you can hear, I mean, Armando, my suggestion, I know this isn't my channel, but my suggestion is finish what you were saying, Don Armando, and then Jose can go. Because I think that Jose might have a
Yeah,
bit of.
yeah. Because it's like to me, you have to look at certain things with these racists, right? I mean, the YouTube racists.
Mhm.
Some of them don't even live in the United States, and but yet they know so much about
Mhm.
American politics.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
So you have certain people that say they're in a self-imposed exile, whatever that means.
Bullshit. As far as I'm concerned, it's bullshit. And like certain YouTuber goes on and on about talking about all the houses that he owns in Mexico, he owns in South America, then in Puerto Rico, and always traveling. That's a bullshitter. I mean, this is trolling. That's one.
Um,
I mean, there is another YouTuber that you could be talking about cats, and he starts bringing up Columbus because he's one of the Spain worshippers. Now, not understanding that the Spanish Empire is dead. It's been dead for over 100 years. Like, let it go. It's not gonna come back.
I
That's
mean, I
that's a
mean to me is this right? It's funny with with the Spain worshippers, right?
mm-hmm,
We never we read books about Spain and everything like that.
mm-hmm,
Okay, we have to we have to look at something and just sit back and just listen. Where will what happened to everybody that lived in those times? They passed on, right?
Yeah.
So from the experiences that they tried to convey of the old Spain and everything like that,
Mm.
from their respective nations, they will in current day, and the people that actually founded their nations or fought for their independence against Spain, with all the guys that talk about Spain and their worship or whatever the case may be,
Mm.
they would actually be considered traitors. Am I correct? Because they love Spain so much, but yet they don't respect their own governments. Think about it, and you'll see what I'm saying is true.
No, because they are living in some kind of a fantasy that they think that they're actually gonna come back to their so-called motherland being Spain. They're always talking about that, and I've had to tell a couple of them, like, okay, go back to Spain. If Spain is the motherland, get your ass out to Spain and stop talking about it. And I tell them, I will respect you better if you will stop talking about Spain and move there. I mean, you're supposed to be going back home, right? Back to the motherland, right? Well, why don't you go to Spain? Move there. See what happens. I mean, he's gonna, and they don't say anything to that because they're gonna deep down maybe they do know they're gonna get a big wake up call when they don't get treated so well. I mean, they're not gonna be welcoming them there with open arms because it doesn't. Spain, I don't think it has like a right of return type of thing law. You go there, you may go there with a visa, and maybe you can stay there for a few days or so, and you're gonna have to get back out. And to get like to get kind of like permission to live there, and kind of like a visa or a permanent visa or whatever the process is over there. I mean, I
I
remember seeing in a program like they don't get treated that well. I mean, Spain doesn't have much money these days.
I mean depends because, like for example, right? As you know, Spain is actually under the euro, right? So
Yeah.
technically, the euro is higher than the dollar. So people who actually living in Spain, I guess they're living through what like a social welfare or something like that. That might think it is because I have friends that I talk to on my Facebook who are from Spain. So, they show the pictures and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I actually talked to people that actually live in Spain. So
Mm,
some of them are living good, some of them not. But their romanticization of Spain, I could tell you from the way that these guys talk about Spain, they haven't watched one Spanish flick on Netflix. They can't even tell you what is a Spanish dish without Googling it.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
And I know several. I never been to Spain a day in my life. My
Yeah, yeah.
cousin's been to Spain. I had a cousin who actually studied in Spain. So, with all that said, and they're like, "Oh, we're this, we're that, and we're gonna police your identity." Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a secret, which a lot of these idiots, I say
Mm-hmm.
idiots, don't
Yeah.
even understand. Okay, Dominican Republic, right? Is
Uh-huh.
you have people that actually know how to read and everything like that, and then you have people that don't. So the people who want to say that they're proud Espanol or whatever the case may be, some of them they do have their documents on where they came from, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them don't. So therefore, they just want to make a fake lineage. So therefore, they could be whatever the case may be. And then on top of it, some of the population, I'm talking about during the Trujillo era, didn't know how to really sign their names right. So therefore, most of the people that actually went up and signed documents or anything like that always signed their names with an X because they did not know how to read. So my thing is that for all these guys who want to preach about that this is the homeland or whatsoever the case may be, I don't respect them one bit. Because at the end of the day, I don't see none of these guys have a European passport or a European Union citizenship.
Um, part of the problem is you have people that talk about stuff that have absolutely positively no knowledge. Now they want to talk about how Spain is so wonderful. Let's see what happens when they visit Spain and see how well they get treated by the Spaniards. Particularly one individual, which will remain nameless, that have to leave the United States for reasons, only known to this individual
Now, actually,
who
now
claims to
actually,
be.
that actually, um, you know, claim to be two individuals right now because the other individual, I guess the person that's supposed to live where I'm at right now, from what I heard, that person's actually took up residence in the Dominican Republic as well. So you know, it's just a whole smorgasbord of ignorance right now. So my thing is that with these radicalized um racist guys and everything like that, I think going to the Dominican Republic is a good thing for them. You know why? Because they're gonna be hit with the reality that they don't want to that they're not gonna like. For example, most of these most of these racists, right? The ones that are of Dominican descent, right? They come from one area which is known for ignorance or whatever the case may be, right? But then if I say the
Hmm.
word, they'll be like, oh, not all Dominicans are like that. Well, apparently my mother actually warned me about certain of these individuals in the past. And I have encountered individuals from the past from that same region. My grandfather on my dad's side, his father came from that region. So with that said, certain people from their region, they're so proud of nothing. And even my father said it when he actually visited out there while he was living in the Dominican Republic. If you think that certain people in the East is poor and everything like that, you'll see the real you'll see the real poverty in some of the towns and mountain towns or whatever the case may be, where some of these racist families hail from.
Hmm.
So it's actually it's actually amazing when when I try to actually have a conversation with these guys and they claim with their extremist fervor that they're right and I'm wrong. When the fact is they're not their families are not in any branch of Dominican government. And most of all, hi Denise, how you doing? And most of all, some of these so-called thought leaders or non-thought leaders, how I just actually call them,
Mm-hmm.
have no influence in their communities whatsoever. I will
Mhm.
actually say that I will actually say this for once. When I was in the Dominican parade, right, the one in Manhattan, I was backstage and I was actually back with with a prominent Dominican comedian and producer by the name of Jaxiel, right, and his girlfriend.
Mhm.
So most of the people that I actually knew, it was me meeting them for the first time, and me being who I am. I actually talked to I actually talked to a lot of these personalities on my Instagram and my Facebook, right? So sometimes it's like I meet some of these guys and they know me. I might know that person from way back when I met them,
Mm-hmm.
etc. So we already had a relationship. Now this certain racist who I ain't gonna name, I just call him steroid user because that's what he is. When you went up and you saw like a whole sea of people who look like me and lighter and everything like that, all getting along. Now you walking around like you acting like you're a fake police officer, but nobody's talking to you. Nobody's doing nothing. So my thing is that from what I gather, this guy's already a lame. You get what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
so my thing is that you want to make yourself so grandiose and everything, but yet when I see you in person, you're nothing what you speak. And then on top of it, your platform is not even that big. DK DK, welcome to the family. What family? It's
Yeah.
just comical to me.
Yeah.
And then it's funny with what you call it. You know the fake. I call him the fake lover boy. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently this guy lives in Los Angeles, right? And he has a wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yet when you was on another stream, you're trying to act like you're the Latin lover when the fact is you look like you look like a regular powder sniffer to me. But
Mm.
what do I know? Yeah. It's like what I don't know what this guy actually looks like, but he looks like Camil- Camilo, the version of Camilo that actually uses powder. You get what I'm trying to say?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Interesting. But
Hmm.
but you know, but going back to radical stream, this person Mary talking about how supposedly radical never address Latino issues. I mean, give me a break.
Oh, okay.
He's
So
been
yeah.
addressing
The
Latino
woman she was
years.
saying she kept going back and talking about the community that he never said anything about the community, which is a lie. I mean, just kept repeating herself over and over and talking about all the places that she's been in, around the world. Maybe she has, maybe she
Oh,
hasn't,
oh,
but
oh, oh, oh,
what does that have to do?
okay. Oh,
Huh?
oh. But in my own experience, well, even though I've had my channel for years, I just started actually doing the live stream or whatever. In my ex, in my experience, if a person is gonna go off the bat, say, "Yeah, I've been all these places," okay, well, guess what? Who cares? You're not going. You're not talking about the issue that's at hand. So for example, that's like if I'm talking to you, Ramon, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey, how you doing, Ramon?" Like, yeah, I've been to, you know, I call it spreading useless information. Like, Oh yeah, I went to yeah, I've been to Barbados,
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Europe, I've been to Senegal, and I went to Thailand and everything like that. Okay, so guess what? What does that have to do with what we're talking right now?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right. I'll tell you a personal story, right? So I was in church, right? This is like maybe during the beginning of the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I got married. So I see a lady that went up and was, that she did most of the sound stuff for the church, right? And I asked them like, oh, where you got these masks from? I'm like, okay. She was like, oh yeah, we got these masks and everything whatsoever the case may be. So she gave me the person's Instagram. So
Mhm.
I just gave the person Instagram, and I tried to chop it up so I could actually get some of those stylish masks, but then the person blocked me whatsoever. I'm like, okay, well, who cares? Now, while me and that person was talking, she said something that had nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Like, for example, Mama asking you about masks. Why the heck are you telling me how good of a Puerto Rican she is?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You you,
Okay.
you, you get what I'm trying to say? That just seems off to me. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm talking about getting my mask, so therefore I could protect myself and look stylish at the same time, right? You talking about how good a person is just because of the island they came from. I'm like, what does that have to do with me getting masked? I could get a
Mm-hmm.
mask from a European person or a African American person. But he's like, oh yeah, they're a good Puerto Rican. I'm like, they're, like, who asked you? You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, to me, it was a doozy because there was a lot of useless information that was actually put out right there, and especially that guy. What's his name? I don't know what his name was. The guy that like he was on perks or cocaine or meth or something like that, and he was trying to overtalk Radical, but with no avail. He just looked like he sucked at debate or never been in a debate ever in his life.
Oh, okay. No, but that wasn't a debate. That was an argument. Because that was
It
an
was, it was,
emotional. I
I'm
mean, that
not
was an
talking about, I'm not talking
emotional
about
debate.
the woman. I'm talking about the guy who
Yeah, yeah.
he
The
looked like.
guy at the beginning. Yeah, the guy that was talking with Radical at the beginning. They were supposed to have a debate, but he doesn't know how debates work. I mean, it's one person at a time, and and kept uh, over talking, interrupting, and disrespecting the platform. And I think on that one, I have to admit, I will have to say that maybe Radical needs to be a little bit more strict and let them know that that should be tolerated because I mean he wants to keep the conversation going, but he should be strict when it comes to and make it a rule, a real rule about him not being overtalked, not being talked
Yeah,
over. I mean, he shouldn't be allowing that. He's kind of like flexible. He kind of gives them leeway, but then they start running their mouth and they start talking all over the place and interrupting all the time, and that shouldn't be.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's
And that's
like to
what
me,
is happening
right?
with this. Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like to me, right? I mean, I guess that's Radical's platform or anything like that. I only have
Mm-hmm.
one rule for anybody that knows me. You know me, cool. And if you mention my first name, cool. But if it's somebody that's from my past and they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" and then you see me and then you want to try to beg for money, yeah, I'm gonna block you. First of all, I'm just putting that rule out there. Second of all, if you want to come with some crap to my page, telling me of who I am and everything like that, but historical background or anything for that matter, yeah, I'm gonna block you. Third, and this is the and this is one thing that I'm going to say for everybody, and I consider y'all as family. Giorgio, introvert, Boricua, Jose Negron, whoever comes here, shows me respect. I,
Absolutely, man, because we are in
I
strong alliance and partnership.
Yeah, that's right.
thank you.
Just the way I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
So my
Yeah.
thing is that if I consider y'all as family, you're not gonna disrespect my family, my blood family or not. You get what I'm trying to say? So if
Yes.
anybody comes to my platform and think that they're going to come with disrespect or anything like that just because of an opinion, you're going to get blocked. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not here for the shenanigans. I'm not here for trolling. I'm not here for anything of that matter that actually try to bring ignorance, because if you actually look at it, right, we live in an ignorant society with ignorant people. So why should I go and contribute more to the ignorance when the fact is we could try to bring positivity, because there's a lot of stuff that's actually happening in the life and in the streets. Like, for example, everybody wants to party and everything like that, but yet you don't know how to get you don't know how to set a good example for your children, how to not go the same. I'm just saying for the people that have been, through the justice system in the worst way or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
How you cannot help your children to steer away from the judicial system. So it's like when you see like maybe 5 generations of families, and they've been in the judicial system or victims of the judicial systems because of either circumstance or whatever the case may be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to try. My thing is that like when I was younger, they always said that the future is ours, and the way that I'm seeing a lot of these youngsters or young men by that way, it's not that they don't have any positive thing. You're having a whole bunch of people who don't know how to lead, and this is for every. This is not only for the streets. This is for anything. Because think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that would have happened, like, we're just going back 30 years ago, right? 30 years ago, TV had standards, right? Now TV don't
Mm-hmm.
really have standards. I'm saying cultural wise or whatever. So my thing is this: if we don't bring back standards of respect or anything like that, or try to teach the next generation on how to have corporate respect or whatever the case may be whenever they go into a workplace or whatever, or
Mm-hmm.
any place for that matter. How the heck we're gonna we're gonna pass down what respect is in the long run? Because the way I'm seeing it, respect is actually becoming like a past thing, and it's like a WTF moment. What's
Mm-hmm.
your thoughts about that?
Well, you have many. Okay, I'm gonna try to be careful with what I say. Were raised
Mm-hmm.
by the trauma and as a result, pass on the trauma and pass on the bad experiences to them. Good evening, Keisha.
Good evening,
Look,
Keisha.
and that's the problem. And what's been said, hurt people, hurt people. So when you have people who've been traumatized and what have you, and they made some bad mistakes, and then next to you their errors to their children, what it does is you creating another generation of people who are messed up. That is the reality. So of course you're gonna have people who don't know what it is to give a good example. Of course you're gonna have people who are gonna have not much in the way of morals and whatnot. I mean, look, actually in one of Dee Dee's videos, she discussed about the fact where a single mother became homeless, and then her aunt took her in and her two children. And next thing you know it, to show her gratitude, she's sleeping with her aunt's man and trying to steal her aunt's man from her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So a little something about that, and I was making that argument that not not to put all of the blame on the guy. I mean, he may have had a moment of weakness or something. And I'm not saying that he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, he did wrong. He shouldn't have messed with the girl. But it wouldn't have happened without her consent. I don't think he had to do that much. It's just that whole competition between women. Women compete with each other hard like that, and the guy may have just been a pawn. I mean, we can be used as pawns. A lot of people don't believe that, but that's a thing. Hmm.
Well, you know what? The fact of the matter is, we won't know the full story, but this is the point that I made.
I get it.
That both the man and the woman are just as guilty
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, I get
because
it.
it
I
does
get it.
take two people to engage. Yeah, because it does take two people to engage in intercourse.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I understand. I understand. But the whole thing is not put all of the blame on one person because that's too easy. Kind of like relieve the other of any accountability. And I wouldn't agree with that.
Well, unfortunately, we're living in a day that some people they don't understand the concept of being accountable for their actions, and that's applicable
Hmm.
to male and female.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah. Well, it's hard
Hey,
to believe.
Michelle, you can come up too and bring up like your perspective from a female side.
Mhm.
Maybe you can. Yeah. The link is at the top of the chat. Come on up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Mhm. Yeah. It seems like tonight everybody's doing a stream. I did a stream earlier tonight. Fighter's doing a stream right now.
Mm-hmm.
You say, And that's the point I was trying to make, is that there's going to be times that we're going to, we're going to have scheduling conflicts. We cannot be afraid of that. Just try to do what we can, and just make sure that we produce content on a regular basis.
Basically, I mean, I'm trying to at least talk
Yeah.
to some artists, or at least I could actually try to have a good stream as far as the Dominican hip hop movement so far, because I know I have my contacts like up in North Pennsylvania and New York, whatever the case may be. But my thing is that I'm trying to get a story out there, because I'm seeing a lot of unnecessary stuff which is actually happening in not only in the North urban movement, but in a lot of urban movements. And we're not going to go in progressive. People don't think business wise instead of their emotions.
Right.
Hmm.
And I'm seeing that quite often.
Yeah, that's true. So,
Yeah.
well,
So look like I might be seeing you next week, Don Jose.
okay.
You guys
Just
are gonna be meeting up?
I mean, I
just
don't
let me
know if you.
know.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because as soon as I get to New York, I'll shoot you a text to see what you're doing. Because I know in Thanksgiving Day, yeah, we're gonna be everybody's gonna be busy. But
Yeah.
I don't know about the other days. Maybe you and I we can link up, because I know that you're a busy man as well.
Well, as you can see, particularly when we met up in Philadelphia, I am somewhat known.
Yeah, I mean, it's to the point now that you remember what you was talking about the immigrants that are coming to New York.
Yeah.
Well, now a lot of immigrants are they actually started coming to Philadelphia right now.
Okay.
So they actually showed I guess the mayor of Philadelphia and all the buses and all the busload of immigrants that were coming and such. I guess migrants or whatever the case may be. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that's gonna pan out. I guess in quote unquote the sanctuary cities. So I guess it's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you know what? It wouldn't be so bad if more of the cities got a fair, an equal load, instead of like for example, most of New York City getting the large portion, and then other cities in New York not getting as many. Hopefully, they won't end up all going to Philadelphia. I mean, they'll go to other places like Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Scranton, and then other, share the wealth, so to speak.
Let's
I
get the low.
mean, if you actually look at it, right? Depending on the skill set of the migrants and such, right? I'll say like maybe
Yeah.
like out of those migrants, right? You might have two or
Hmm.
three that may or may not already know English, depending on that, depending on their skill set. You get what I'm trying to say? So on their skill set and
Yeah.
their education or whatever the case may be, I feel like the ones that actually would know English, um, will fare better in the United States. All right. Now we got the radical Latino. Welcome to my well, I'm still a newbie here, so ah crap. You lost him. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hey, I'm still learning, so
Maybe he's having some, maybe he- maybe he has some technical difficulties.
yeah.
Yeah, come on back, come on
I see that.
back. Wanted to ask
Yeah.
a little bit about his crazy stream.
I mean, shoot. And look like that. I guess in the future I might have some crazy streams because whoop-de doo, there's a lot of crazy people here. I mean,
No, but
these YouTube
that's the thing.
streets.
Those are the streams that are going to get views when you have ratchetness and
I'm, I,
arguing.
I mean, to me is this right? If I wanted to, if I would have known more about streaming like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I would have been already rich. You know what I'm saying? Because all I
Mm-hmm.
had to do is just see, a bunch of If I was living in the Bronx, all I have to see is like a whole bunch of toothless yokels or toothless Ray Rays fighting over the last malt liquor, and then you see
Oh,
a and then you see a hot chick come by, and then the
yeah.
next thing you see another set of losers actually fighting over who's gonna get her. When the fact is, y'all don't have the equipment or mannerisms on to maintain this female.
Okay,
So I don't know
okay.
what the heck.
That's gonna be some music video or world star hip hop kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you actually look at it, World Star Hip Hop. I mean, for for a whole bunch of years, they actually had a monopoly on ratchetness. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then when I was like asking one of the guys that actually work for World Star, right? I was like, I bet how much would it be for y'all to put a video on your webpage, right? There was like, oh, well, for our webpage, since we're all known and stuff, you have to pay like $600 just to put that right there. I was like,
Mm-hmm,
crap.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, but was that something that's gonna be monetized that will get you a return on investment or not?
I don't even know how it works because it's like ever since the owner of World Star died in a
Mm-hmm.
masseuse parlor or whatever the case may be, you don't know
No.
who is the owners of World Star right now. It might be the guy's wife. It might be some of his relatives. We don't know who actually runs it right now. To tell you the truth.
Hmm. Okay.
Well, speaking about streams that tend to get a lot of traction, the one that got the most views of all my streams when I did the stream regarding why people are obsessed about being white, that got over 300 views. In fact, the first night got like about 150. So that kind of proves the point. I mean, you gotta put something controversial to get the views.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna. I think maybe next week or something like that. I might just do something on who really runs the United States or whatever the case may be, shadow governments or something. I might just try to edit the GF so therefore it could look more appealing to whosoever. So I think that might be my next open topic or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you know, that's very interesting because in reality we have elected officials and such, but we don't know who's really the power behind these which financial institutions or so are actually helping these guys. Okay. Ah,
Yo,
Hey, Rad, how you
hello.
doing tonight?
Yo.
Yo, hey, sorry about me trying to come in. I was having some mic issues.
No,
Oh,
that's all right,
yeah. I'll
dude.
be having those too.
Yeah, it's not just you. Something in the matrix is messing with people's connections.
Yeah.
Oh, there was something.
Yeah.
There was something I meant to ask you.
Yeah, what's up?
Since you live upstate New York, did that snowstorm affect you?
Barely not. We got like barely nothing. It's just like a couple of trickle down snow, and it was basically just raining.
Hmm.
Why? What
Okay.
happened? It
All
affected you
right.
guys hard?
No, I think
Nah.
that
It
thing,
affected
I just
it
heard
affected you
about it on my.
guys. It affected you guys hard.
that whole system, that
No, it
cold
didn't. It
front,
didn't.
that cold system, is the edge of it, the very edge of it is all the way down here in North Texas. So I mean, I'm trying to go out. It's all super chilly, and I have ice on my windows in the car. And it's like, what the hell? It's not time for that yet. That's supposed to be happening in January. But it's kind of like
Yeah.
this big cold
Yeah.
system that extends all the way down here. And where I'm at, I'm at the very edge of it. Because if I go down south a little bit more, then I'm in the clear of it. But nah. I mean, I'm dealing with the cold down here. Of
Yeah.
course, no snowstorms or anything like that. But yeah.
Wait. So let me. So what is the
No.
discussion that
No.
you guys are having?
Oh yeah, we're just talking about everyday racism within these YouTube streets.
And
Okay.
about your
The
life. and a little
offenders.
bit and a little bit about
Yeah.
your life too.
Oh,
Like,
well,
that was
there's
not
somebody,
even.
there's like 2 or 3 channels right now doing a recap coverage on that little debate that I just had. So it's
That wasn't a debate. That was an arguing. That was an
yeah,
argument.
it was
That's
it was an argument.
that was not
Yeah.
even a debate. That was not even a debate. It was just a drug addict that I'm sorry. That
Well,
was just a drug
will
addict
go.
that was just mad because he didn't get
It
his
will go like
fix.
that several times. Like like he didn't know what to say or something. I mean,
Like
nah.
like that's just like seeing that's just like seeing Rambo in Parkchester, and that's it. And if
Yeah.
anybody's from my
Yo,
hood, you know who Rambo
dude,
is.
tell me how he fucking said. Tell me how you guys heard it, right? Tell me how he said La Raza means. First of all, he said La Raza. All Latinos talk about it, like yell it out, and he said La Raza means whitening the culture. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Only
No.
Mexicans say that shit.
No, because you
I'm
were
like,
right. He was referring about the whole mejorar la raza
Yeah,
shit.
mejorar la raza. I'm like, dude, that's way different. Because I even told him, I was like, bro, you're referring to that's way different. Like la
Yeah, it's
raza and
the
mejorar la
the
raza is
whole
two different
whitening.
things.
Because there is this
if
belief
you
among the FBAs that we have this master plan of whitening ourselves in all over Latin America. That was more of a thing. And if there was a thing about it, it would have been in Argentina, because there is barely any
Not,
brown
but not
people
only, that. If that was the thing, no black Latinos would be existing right now. Let's be real.
there. That's what I'm saying. Because if it was a thing at all, it may have been in Argentina, because finding people that are brown or more Afro descendant is quite rare there, from what I understand. But next door to Argentina, there is Brazil.
Yeah,
And
and my thing, and this is my thing. I told this to Marcel. I even told this to Denise, and I even said this publicly. I am going to stop the anti-Latino bullshit. I'm going to stop it. And this is me and my way of stopping it. You know,
yeah.
people come in to these conversations, to these communities, into these groups with crazy ideologies about about Latinos, and
Mhm.
have anti-Latino views about, to the point where you guys have white supremacist culture. What? Nah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
gonna
common
stop that.
mentality. Yeah,
no no
that's
no
a
no
common
no no
mentality
no,
all the
no
time. especially
You're
from the
radical.
FBAs. I mean, if that were true, I mean, there wouldn't be people that look like us. I mean, and the whole thing with the Afro Brazilians, they wouldn't exist. There are Afro Peruvians, they wouldn't exist. And the Afro Venezuelans and Colombians, they
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
exist if that were true.
but you see,
Excuse me.
whenever we talk about that, that defeats
Mhm.
their purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
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 Go ahead, Jose.
But guys, all due respect, that married person was not trying to discuss things in good faith.
Mhm.
She already had her agenda set. First of all, I've been following you, Radical, for about 2 years, and you have spent a great deal of time talking about life issues and how we need to, we need to put a check to all those racists and what have you. It's just that it's easy to talk about something that you don't know anything. And I said this before. If you're going to talk about someone, do diligent research. At least that way, when you go to talk about someone, you'll have something somewhat
Oh
intelligent to
yeah,
say.
that
But
lady,
for her to
that
talk
lady,
about how that
yeah,
you
yeah,
never dealt with Latino,
that lady came in already with bad faith arguments. Yeah, she already came in with something which was 100% stupid. You know what I mean? The thing about it
Yeah,
is that what yo, can you hear me?
Yeah. We hear
I,
you.
The thing
yeah, we hear you.
the thing about
yeah,
it is the thing about it is that those are the talking points that people use in order to discredit your whole thing. And when I came at her and I showed her everything that I've been doing, oh, I've been doing this. I already talked about it. That's when I even came at her. I even said, you got to come with another narrative. And then her other narrative was, why are you talking about the black community? I'm not talking about the black community. I'm talking about FBA, the hate group.
Yeah.
So you got to come with
Oh
another
yeah,
narrative. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah. I know somebody who is very guilty of having another narrative. Like for example, right? I went up and I stated what I am and who I
But
am,
but
right?
but doesn't this wait real quick, Don? Real quick, Don. Doesn't this prove that FBA are hateful within their own nature? Because you have multiple FBA people go
Yes.
inside that room and say, well, Latinos are this and Latinos are that, and you guys are doing this and you guys are doing that, without no evidence. This proves it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
just like
like the whole thing.
yeah,
Oh, my bad, my bad. Mhm.
just like the Hispano taps.
Oh no,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
they have already been sidelined. They have already been set aside. They're not even around anymore.
Oh
They
yeah,
have already
no,
been dealt with.
yeah.
Mhm.
Since Rancho got his shit terminated on Twitter and all that other stuff, he barely even uploads anything. So yeah, they're done.
Yeah. So that
They, like in history, they're a fart in history. So it is what it is.
yeah, at least in YouTube history,
Yeah,
they're uplifted. They're not. They're done. They're done with it because the rhetoric didn't have any legs to it, so it wasn't sustainable. So that's why nobody's going around really thinking about it. There are still some Spain worshippers that I see them that you could be talking about cats on a live stream, and they start bringing up Columbus, and they start bringing up they start kind of slurping him and the whole Spanish Empire. There are still one or two here and there that we see them pop up and they start talking about Columbus, even though the live stream doesn't have anything to do with that. I mean, and you try to tell them to go back to Spain, and they don't hear you. Then, I mean, but
yeah.
that's it.
But anyway,
It's
let me
a
let you
small
guys
fact.
let me let you guys go. I'm gonna catch y'all later. All right, peace.
All right, see
Yeah,
you, man.
take care, Radical.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah. You know, all I can say for some of these individuals, bless their hearts, because I mean, basically, their brains. I mean, they don't have two brain cells that are working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my
Mm-hmm.
thing is this: if you have like some of the Hispanic, this is what I think, right? And me personally, it'll be funny, right? If you have so much passionate FBA, right? You put them with the Hispanotaps, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It will actually make for a good Jerry Springer-ish TV show. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, they,
you know
Mm-hmm.
what'd be interesting? You know what'd be interesting if we take the FBAs and the ADOs and we take the Spanotaps and then we exiled into a deserted island. Let's see how they function. It'll be funny to
yo,
see.
yo, yo, yo,
That was
yo,
fun show.
you just took the words right out of my mouth, man. Shoot. I mean, if you actually look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The basic of these FBA and Hispanotaps, right, is that they're actually frustrated with their real life, right? So they actually try to treat YouTube as their therapy and whatsoever, right? So
Hmm.
if there was actually amongst people, right, they would not really know how to function. Like you, like Don Jose, you actually seen me function when I was in the Bronx Dominican parade. You saw how many people
Yeah,
actually came to me, right? So,
yeah.
and I've seen how many people come to gravitated towards you. So
Hmm.
my thing is that if if people gravitate towards real life or whatever the case may be, what is this what is this, how should I say, this necessity on trying to be an entity on social media or on these YouTube streets when the fact is you're not saying anything that's edifying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately,
Yeah.
you have certain people that that their platforms is nothing more than an echo chamber. And heaven forbid if you say something slightly out of character, you will be banned, you will be deleted, you will be blocked, and so on and so on, because people cannot accept an independent point of view.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like some people that I know. And to me, it's like,
Mhm.
okay, like for example, right? We all know who blocked me, and I don't really care because I guess that I got under her nerves. But who cares? You get
Mhm.
what I'm trying to say? So my thing is that for several months or a year, right? They've always have this one thing, which is, you know what it is, and I guess I am
Yeah.
infamous in these YouTube streets because of it. I mean, I've been saying the same thing ever since I got here.
Yeah.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie at? Y'all can't go around and detect nothing, but yet y'all hide behind your
Yeah.
avatars or whatever and not even show your face. At least when you actually make an accusation, show your face. I want to see your facial reactions and crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
come on, you want to go talk about? It's funny how scared these people are. Uncourageous, I mean. You want to
Yeah.
go talk about all the stuff bad. We're just talk about AAs and everything like that, and you're so sure, and you're telling people, "Oh, I'm gonna march up to you in the Bronx Dominican parade and tell you you're fake or whatever." Yeah, but we didn't see you, so automatically you're garbage.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, we all know who we're talking about, right? So anything that a person says,
Yeah.
it was like, with these extremist views, she don't hold down. Like, it's not really extremist views when you're actually stupid. Let's keep it real. And this is not only for that female, it's for the other female too. Maria, right? Maria shows up on Radical Stream or Magic Mungata Scream, as I say, right? Trying to talk her stuff and everything. So apparently, I didn't know who Maria was. So I just happened to glance on the channel with this guy by the name of Jizz123, and whoop de doo, Maria was there up in Jizz123's channel. So Sperm123, what he talks about, and it's obvious on what he does, why he talks about the same subject all the time, because as you know, and I've said this, the wonderful Zacharias blessed me with a lot of information about Sperm123. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, you gotta admit it, but this guy who talks about the same thing, I don't know if he's even getting paid for it, but you know, Seaman123 is not really that edifying. You know what I'm trying to say? And I think that person needs to change their name to Farts, because that's all they're talking about. I mean, think about it. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, and stuff that's going on. We do not want to hear about your obsession with the passport bros.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to hear about your obsession on how you actually live in a nasty
or with
house.
Mr. BBC and talk about there's an ongoing battle for sexy ass Latinas.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess that's the Latino Jeffrey Dahmer, I suppose.
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, well, he does have the characteristics, so.
Yeah, well, insults are dangerous. I keep saying it. Have to watch out for it.
I mean, it's funny because in my place of work, there's an insult right now. I mean, he's normal and crap like that, but you could tell that he gets no action.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So you know how that goes.
you know,
To me,
I mean, when you
I
think
think
about
that
it, YouTube is
yeah.
Yeah, Don Jose was about to say
I was
something though.
just
Yeah.
saying that YouTube is full of what you have Kim123, and you have Mr. I'm gonna make the DR white again, and then you have this Maria person, and then you have a couple other members of the Peanut Gallery.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. I could about these YouTube streets. It's actually funny, especially with that Freako Worldwide situation.
Yeah. But you know something? I mean, could you imagine trying to find a female that would be interested in Kim 123?
Yeah, a one on drugs.
Yeah, one he has to pay for.
No, or one who was actually just like Kim 123, but on drugs.
Hmm. Yeah.
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 I'm sure. I'm sure.
I mean, you're talking about. I mean, talking about marriage. I mean, I mean, imagine him finding someone that's like a female version of Kim 123, and then they have a bunch of Kim 123 children. Oh my goodness gracious!
Oh no,
I don't
no,
even want.
no.
I
The
don't even
world,
want to
the
think
world
of.
don't need that. The world doesn't need that. No, no, no thanks.
I mean, think about it. Uh, there's people who are like Kim 123 that lives in Japan. Technically, you get what I'm trying to say?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well,
yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
someone have to write a book about these characters.
No, they're not. To
Uh,
write a book, you'll have to research them, and they're not worth the effort.
I mean, me personally, I think that book will not even become a bestseller. I think it will just be straight trash. You know, garbage can worthy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Something that you might look over when you're taking a shit or something, but nah, it's not something that you want
Yo,
to. Not something to take serious.
You know what we
yo,
you
yeah.
know
I mean, like,
if we took Kim if we took
Hmm. What was that?
you know
yeah,
it'd be funny if we took you know it'd be funny if we took Kim 123 and all these other members of the peanut gallery and then exile them all to
yeah,
a deserted island by themselves.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we could. I mean, we can. I mean, we can. Put Maria there, and of course hybrid the zebra. I mean,
Yeah, put
Oh,
Blood
okay.
Moon there too.
and all these other members of the peanut.
Yeah, you gotta put Blood Moon too because she's highly ignorant. I mean, how the heck you worship white people and you live in Washington Heights? That's that is funny to me.
Hmm.
Wow, I don't.
Mm, yeah.
Mhm. Actually, I actually did hear regarding who are the mentally and intellectually challenged. That's my term for all these slow tips.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why I haven't not discussing on my platform because first of all, I've discussed it before. I mean, and you don't want to give them too much shine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but
We-
Anyway.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
right now it's 36 degrees in New York.
Yeah,
Ew.
well, I don't know how many degrees it is right there. I just know it's
What
cold.
is
Uh-huh. Ew. Ew, that's cold.
Mm. I mean the
That's
cold will
not
be good
cold.
as I mean zero below one is cold.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is though is this Ramon, if you actually go and how should I say bundle up right and everything like that, it's nothing actually.
No, I know. That's something that I'm gonna be dealing with. And when January comes around, it's really gonna get too cold. I mean, it's gonna be difficult, but I'll pull through. I always do. I'll endure with this crazy,
Because
that crazy, that
Oh, Ramon,
super super crazy
yeah,
weather.
oh,
in Philadelphia it's actually 34 degrees.
Ramon, you lucky
What?
stiff, you.
What you mean, Lucky Steve? What you talking about?
I mean, they get. I mean, just the experience that slightly chilly weather.
Don't start. Don't start with that. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Hey, I mean, if I can deal with with the heat of summer, then you can deal with the cold of winter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Actually, in Parkchester, they already stopped putting up Christmas display in the park.
Yeah, I know. They usually do that. Mhm. And then you have all the little houses and everything like that. That's one thing I actually miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, actually this year I'm gonna be serving some Thanksgiving.
All right.
So I'll get to see the parade for the first time in person.
You never been to the Thanksgiving parade?
What the hell, Don Jose?
Nope.
All those years in New York and you've never been there?
I mean, I could say that the last time I've been to the Thanksgiving parade, tell you the truth, I just remembered when I was a kid with my aunt, and you had to wake up real early at 6 o'clock in the morning just to see the parade in the blistering cold.
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about 1996. So yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
I wouldn't be too interested in that myself. So. Mhm.
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I'm gonna have to be there morning.
Mhm.
yeah,
So
All right.
maybe
hmm
it'll be nice and cool on Thanksgiving Day.
yeah. Who knows? Let's see. Let's wait and see.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to wrap it up, guys.
So
Yeah.
You have it.
I'll be going to the
Yeah,
parade, and then later this afternoon I'll be spending time with my niece.
that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me, I'm gonna spend it with family members. I might go see some family members, depending on how things go. So That's what my
Okay.
Thanksgiving is looking like.
Mhm.
Mhm.
What's your Thanksgiving looking like, Ramon?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be going out of town next week, and to see my sister. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing a little something.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna be going to Florida. Yeah.
Uh, Dad, I wish I was in Florida, but then again, I
Yeah.
won't. So, but then again, I won't for some reason. So got a fear of turning Republican. So
Uh,
yeah,
I don't care anymore because I mean the this whole after the announcement with Trump trying to run again, we'll see what the Republicans do because many people in the GOP they don't really like him. They don't want him back. So we'll see how they handle that.
and then it's funny because Ivanka Trump, she actually went up and said in public, "I ain't supporting you no more." I was like, yes, somebody, one
Mhm.
of Trump's children that actually have sense.
Yeah. Yeah. The problem is that too many of the uneducated, as he said it himself, that he likes the people that are not educated, so they're easier to kind of like to
Manipulate.
manipulate into supporting him, and they don't do they don't. I mean, they're supporting him because they go for what he says or whatever, but they're not doing their own thinking about it. They're just doing
Mm-mm.
it because, well, maybe tradition or whatever, but they're not really thinking. They're not really thinking about whether it is the best option. I mean, if they
Exactly.
want to go for a Republican, that's fine. That's
Uh,
fine. Just go for a better candidate. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. No,
yeah,
I mean, but
that's the reason why I'm doing the stream regarding how to defeat
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go.
that. I'm trying to do my stream regarding how to defeat the sheep mentality.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Oh man. Yeah, too much of that. There is too much of that, and like I was saying at the beginning, like it's kind of like contradictory that there is so much of that mentality in a country where individualism is promoted so much. So it's interesting to see. And with
Exactly.
that said, Armando, I appreciate you letting me up on your panel. I'm gonna be stepping out. So shout out to you, shout out to the panel, and shout out to Don Jose. I look forward to one of these again. And you
Yep.
guys have a good one. I'm gonna be
You
stepping out.
too, Ramon.
All right, take care, guys. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, Don Armando, I'm gonna be leaving. I'm gonna be heading up as well. As always, it's a pleasure to come out and chop it up with you. I'm gonna ask everybody to, if you have not done so, please show Don Armando some love, subscribe, and whenever you do get, you do see a stream, hit the like button and set the bell notification to all. So therefore, you'll be know whenever he prepares content. It's always a pleasure to talk with you.
Likewise.
Shout out to everyone on say have a good night and peace out.
Yes. Well, thanks thanks for everybody that actually came on the panel. And we like talking about topics on my show. So check out tomorrow for my other stream, which is called Historias Urbanas. So I'm gonna try to talk to people, the movers, shakers within the Dominican urban movement in New York and in the Dominican Republic. So Stay tuned for that. As I say, stay positive, stay safe, and read more to enlighten your brain. I'm out.
Thanks.